In the world where it's full with a conflict, there's a cooperation between the countries in maintaining the peace, stability and harmony. There is a lot of world organization established to overcome the conflict before it became worse. International relations is the field of studies that are discussing about the political ties between the countries, and there are a few of scholars that define the meaning of international relation itself. In this video, we will explain each of the definitions stated by the scholars. The first definition of international relation by the scholars come from Professor Charles Kulasher. He defined international relations as relations among nations. International relations specialize making a relation with a country in order for the country to fulfill their needs and their national interests. There are three key points that can be expressed from the definition, which is about the relation between the states, the political ties domestically or internationally, and lastly about the power. Relation between the states can be formed through the diplomatic relationship happen. The diplomacy between the countries contributed to the military alliance, economic cooperation and social development. For instance, Malaysia had a military cooperation called Five Power Defence Arrangement (FPDA) along with Australia, New Zealand, Singapore and United Kingdom. Malaysia have a diplomatic relationship with those countries as all of them are the members of Commonwealth. When it comes about the politics, usually it will touch about the public interest, where the decision-making process can affect the people's life. The opinion comes from a various perspective, whether it comes from the professional or by the public opinion. For example, the Brexit referendum in UK on 2016 shows that the British choose to vote for the UK to withdraw from European Union (EU). The decision then will give a permanent effect to the country as a whole in terms of economic, social and their sovereignty. When people talk about international relations, we can think about the power. Power is one of the main goals that wanted to be achieved by the countries. It was earned by using a hard power, where it was usually gained through the coercion from the series of war, or the country can earn their power by using a soft power. It doesn't require the country to involve in war, but it can be gained through the spread of their culture, history and entertainment in social media.
Hans J. Morgenthau, a German-born scholar, is a figure in the development of international relations theory, specifically realism. His work Politics Among Nations defines international relations as a power struggle among nations driven by human nature and historical behavior. Morgenthau believes states act in their own interests, primarily seeking power, but recognizes other factors at play. He distinguishes political power, the psychological influence over others, from the actual use of force. Morgenthau's theories are exemplified by the Soviet Union's policies aimed at expanding and maintaining power. In contrast, Malaysia's foreign policy emphasizes neutrality and soft power, focusing on diplomatic engagement and moral balance, diverging from Morgenthau's power-centric view. Stanley Hoffmann, a Vienna-born political scientist and Harvard professor, is renowned in international relations. Although he didn't develop his own theory, he analyzed various theories in the discipline. Hoffmann emphasized understanding international relations through historical and contextual analysis, diverging from the generalizations typical in social sciences. Hoffmann believed international relations involve complex human behaviors and should be studied through detailed contextual understanding rather than purely theoretical approaches. In the Malaysian context, early foreign policy was shaped by regional and historical factors such as the Cold War and anti-communist sentiment, emphasizing the importance of contextual influences in international relations.
When we talk about the definition given by Quincy Wright regarding international relation, he defines international relation as relation between groups of major importance in the life of the world at any period of history. It is a way of influencing or controlling major groups, a process in which power is acquired, maintained, and expended. In his words, it is not only the nations which international relations seek to relate. Varied types of groups, nations, states, governments, people, region, alliances, confederation, international organization, even industrial organization, cultural organizations, religious organization must be dealt within the study of international relation if the treatment is to be realistic. To Quincy Wright, the use of the term international relation is relatively narrow, and he thinks that in order to understand international relation, one must include partial studies such as international politics, international law, international organization, international economics, international ethics, psychology and sociology of international relation, world history, political geography, political demography, and technology. In conclusion, international relation is truly important in the new age of modern world, as it provides a very solid place for nations around the globe to build and solidify their foreign policies, engage in diplomacy, addressing important global issues, promoting peace and harmony on a global scale, as well as fostering economic development. Not only that, but by studying international relation, we will be able to learn and understand global issues that are constantly existing in our world, along with gaining valuable insight of international politics. With this, we can think of possible and effective methods to shape the world around us in hopes to create a better world.